Would like to welcome Dr. Quentin Young.
Thank you very much. The good news is I'll be brief, and I know I'll do very well with that guidance. I joined PDA because Physicians for a National Health Program is a 501c3, and you can't do politics there, and we have to do politics in this crucial half year. I think you knew it before, but you had laid out for you the peril that we're in. The right wing has never been better organized. The kind of money they're pushing around to win elections, as they bitterly did in Wisconsin, is measured in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And while this is a noble group, obviously we have to multiply our strength tremendously in the next period. There's a little good news, and some of it was alluded to. I want to underline it. The American people still have clear-eyed views about who's good and who's bad. They don't like Wall Street. They don't like Wall Street. And we have to make it clear to them that Wall Street is running this show. And that's a very important part of the fight that lies ahead. It's going to be helped, I think, we'll see very soon, with a stiffening of the position that Obama took. For myself, I don't want to speak for anybody else, as an old friend of his when he was before his political world in Hyde Park, he was obviously an attractive human being and quite a progressive guy. And I came to believe that as president he would do what Roosevelt did. That was the best analogy. We would see a left liberal program to deal with the enormous problems this country is facing, and they are huge. And they are, of course, a failure of capitalism. Well, we all know what actually happened. He went from being an unequivocal, unqualified single payer. You got that? Obama was on the record supporting it as the only way to deal with the health problem. And we know what happened afterwards. I have reason to believe, no big inside information, but sort of, that there's going to be a militant campaign, and at long last he'll put on the gloves and fight the right wing the way it needs to be fought. And those of us who would like to give him another chance in his second term, and that'll be one if there's any modicum of prosperity and we do our job, it'll be very hard to have him elected if the economy goes south. So we'll work on the premise that it won't do that. And then we'll have a fighting chance to break out of the stranglehold that big business has put us in.
In lieu of so what the Supreme Court did, do you think the fight for single payer changes in any way?
Well, it's a good question. It's a very sophisticated one. You know, you could argue if they had made it unconstitutional, it would be single payer versus market, which in healthcare is lethal. But now we have a chance to see the Obama plan fail to fulfill any of the important points. They have some minor improvements built into the law, and we should acknowledge that, but serious remedy of the American health system, which is in the clutch of corporate America, ain't going to happen. And we have to point that out. Just as I said, the people have no optimism about Wall Street. They don't like the ruling class to run our health system. A great dissatisfaction. And by their own admission, fully implementing this law by 2014, we'll still have 25 million Americans with no insurance. The good news, as part of the answer to your question, is that the movement for single payer is moving. That is to say, in Vermont, Montana, surprise, and Hawaii, they're well on their way with sizable majorities in both houses. I don't want to raise hopes, tomorrow we'll have the New Jerusalem, but I do want you to know that the movement is far from dead. And our job in fighting for repudiation of the right wing, we also have to make single payer, which the American people always support. It's a two-thirds majority that want it. Doctors even, 60%, call for a government-sponsored single payer. So we have a lot on our side. The enemy has a lot on their side. I mourn what happened in Wisconsin, and we could talk a lot about that, but I think it's a fight that's worth winning because the stakes are so high. And I think we can give it a hard try and win. I really believe that. But anyhow, I'm really happy to be part of this group. I don't think it's particularly wise to put me on to talk when such auspicious presenters just did their part, but it's an honor to be here, and I'll do all I can to foster the work of the organization. Thank you.